What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sweet, back with another beat. Okay, honey, period. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Today we did a one palette tutorial with the Juvias Place palette, the Queen palette. And we created this cute pink look with a pop of glitter. So if you want to see how I did it, so you could do it too, just keep on watching. Alright, y'all, so let's get into the eyes first. I did my eyebrows already off camera with my Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade, and I sculpted them out with my E.L.F Pro concealers in Toffee and Beautiful Bronze. I used Toffee for the bottom, Beautiful Bronze on top. So I'm just gonna take Toffee and prime my eyelids. And this is going to make sure that when I start to apply my shadows that they pop. You can actually see the color and the pigment. Okay. So today I'm going to be using the Queen palette by Juvias Place. This came in the mystery box. Cute. A couple of months ago they was doing a mystery box on their website, and this is the palette that came in there with it. So I'm going to be using all shades out of this palette to do my eye look today. We're going to start off with Old, which is just like a magenta, kind of magenta looking color. And I'm going to take a flat blending brush so I can just pack that shade on first. And you know, y'all, let's do it. So I'm gonna pack this onto my outer corners and hover it over in a C shape. So right now we are not necessarily blending, we just want the color to get on our eyelids. And this is gonna be a pink look, of course. That's mostly what's in the palette. But I don't really too much care for pink. I mean, when I was younger, I really didn't like it. But now, I don't feel anyways. It's just not one of my favorites. But it is easy to work with, so. This should be easy for you guys to recreate. If you have this palette, or if you have a palette with shades that are similar to this one. It's crazy because right before I started filming, I was super sleepy, and now I just feel like I've been awakened. Probably because I'm doing my makeup, something I love. But yeah. Gonna do both sides in a C shape, packing it on. And once you have your desired pigment, you can then go in and kind of buff out the edges a little bit, just a little, with the same brush. Just gonna soften it up and get ready for our transition shade. For my transition shade, I'm just gonna use this small but fluffy blending brush, because we kind of just want to soften up the ends, buff it out. And for the shade, I'm gonna use Sister to Sister. This is kind of more of it looks like a light pink / light peachy color, but we're just gonna go right on the edges of that first shade and start blending these two together. And that's just gonna soften it up and give us a nice blend between the two shades. Now when you are doing your transition shade, you will probably lose your first shade, your pre-shade, a little bit. Like here, you can kind of tell that it's a little light. It's not really as dark as it was before, or how it is on this side. So what you would do is just go back and add that color back in, and you will just keep going back and forth until both shades are blending nicely and the colors are still there and as deep as you want them. Okay, so notice the difference after we've added the transition shade and blended them together nicely, and just adding on a crease shade and not adding a lighter color that will soften it up and really bring the look together. So have this side looking really blended, and then this side which is kind of looking harsh. So for me to just blend out the edges and not add something to soften it up, it's not looking too good. Okay, so I'm gonna add my crease color on this shade, and then we're gonna come back for the lid color. Okay, so we have our crease shade, we have our lid shade on. Now we're gonna move on to, wait, what? We have our crease shade, we have our transition we have our crease shade, we have our transition shade. Now we're gonna move on to the lid shade, which we're gonna use 7 for the lid right here. It's a bright pink, almost neon, maybe a neon pink. But I'm gonna use my Louise base to actually like lighten this up a little before I go in with this shade, because we want this shade to really pop. We want it to really pop. So it's not necessarily a cut crease, it's not a cut crease, but it is gonna be in the shape of a cut crease. Okay, I'm gonna just take this just a little brush just to go over the edges and soften them up. Okay, so I'm gonna take a flat brush. I'm gonna dip into 7 and just start packing it on. Really cute. This is definitely like a neon looking color. Okay, so we're gonna try to darken this up with O again. Just so you can really tell the difference, because it seems that the shades are blending together. So we want to darken it. So that deepened it up some. So we're looking good. For my inner corner, I'm going to use FDA approved. FDV approved. I'm not sure what FDV is, but that's what we're going to use. Okay, going in with this flat brush I usually use for my nose highlight, and we're gonna put that right there. Now blend it together. Let me do the other eye first, and then we're gonna do eyeliner, and we're gonna do a little glitter liner as well. Alright, so we have the eyeshadow on. Now we're going to do the liner. I'm gonna use my NYX matte liquid liner to do a bold wing, and then we're gonna do a glitter liner on top of that. For glitter, I'm going to be using this Anastasia Beverly Hills glitter in Sunset. It's just like a pinkish glitter with my ABH Glitter glue. So I'm gonna take a angled brush, like the kind that I use for my eyebrow, and I'm just gonna go, pardon me, I'm just going to go right on top. I'm trying to decide if I just want it on the end, or do I want it coming from the middle? I mean from the end. Yeah. Let's try just the end first though. So I'm just going on the brush like this, because I can get it on here. I feel like this brush, I could not be precise enough with it. I'm gonna use another angled brush to actually place the glitter on. And if you need more glitter glue, you know, just place it first so it won't dry everywhere, and then go back in any spots that you missed. I think I want to bring it from the beginning. This is how it's looking. And on the ends, we want it to kind of fade out. So that just added a little pop, a little touch of something, instead of just having a regular black wing. Added a little glitter, and it's cute. To get the excess glitter off of my face, I'm just gonna take a spoolie and just dust as much as I can off, because this is the most effective way, I feel. Okay, so let's move on to the face. For primer, I'm gonna be using my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is a new bottle, clearly looking cute. This primer is like a staple for makeup. If you're using a matte foundation, I do not recommend it if you're using a hydrating or a dewy foundation, because it can make you look a little too dewy. But I mostly use matte foundations, so it works great. And it gets tacky, so your makeup can really stick to it. For foundation, I'm going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 3cc Mocha. This works for me. And I'm just patting this into the skin. I'm moving it. Very quick patting motions. Make sure you don't skip this under chin area. I don't bring it all the way down here and all of that, because it's a good match for me. But you don't want any lines of demarcation here, so you want to kind of come across the chin underneath here, and then continue to beat. For concealer, I'm going to be using my Juvias Place in the shade J4. This is a little bit too dark, but it works still. I want to get one that's a little bit lighter though. For your contour, you want to kind of do the same patting motions and push up while you're doing it. You don't want to blend down, you want to push it up into where you're going to highlight. And so that will make the blend better. Your face will look more together. Blend the forehead. You want to blend this back into your hairline. So for concealer, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Chestnut. Not really bringing it all the way down here. It's gonna get blended, but we're focusing the product in a smaller triangular area than usual. Also, don't really need too much highlight on the forehead because we don't want to highlight the forehead. Now, if you have a smaller forehead, you can go in with a little bit more product. But as for me and mine, we're gonna keep it small, okay? Make sure that it's blended nicely. You can always go back in with your foundation brush to blend these edges here. Instead of trying to like blend it out with your beauty blender, then it keeps spreading and spreading. So just take your foundation brush, tap the edges, and you're blending. Also, like when you're using a beauty blender, quick tip, because I noticed that some people do not really know how to prepare your beauty blender for blending. So you want to, when you're rinsing it, trying to get it wet, you want to make sure that the water is flowing through it, not just letting it, squeeze it, and you're done. You want to squeeze it while it's under the water so you can feel the sponge expand. That's how you know it's ready. And then you want to squeeze all of the water out before you start doing your face. So I like to go ahead and wet mine, get it real good and wet, squeeze it out before I do my makeup, even sometimes like a couple of minutes before. If I know I'm about to do my makeup, I'm like, let me go ahead and wet my beauty blender, because you want it to be damp. You don't want it wet because that will interfere with your blending. And I even sometimes will go in after I squeeze it out good with a paper towel and just wrap it around and squeeze it again. I'll just leave it in the paper towel until I'm ready to use it. So make sure that you are really getting your beauty blender wet and not just rinsing it and going about your business. For setting powder, I'm going to be using my Mercier translucent powder. This is just like the regular translucent one. I want to try the medium deep. I believe that's what it's called. I want to try the medium deep, but for now, we're gonna use what we got, which is the regular translucent. And this powder is like phenomenal. Definitely worth the $40. I think it's $40. It's definitely worth every dollar, and it'll last a long time. Look how it's like, you can't even tell that I've been using it, but I use it every time I do my makeup, so that should tell you something. And I'm just gonna dip into here, then pat it on the top, then go in under my eye, just so it won't be too much powder. And you really want to press this powder in. You want to press it in and really set. Like, it shouldn't look like a bunch of powder is just sitting on your face, because you want to press it in. That's how you know that your makeup is set for real. And look how it made this side just look really like smooth, like silky, like it did what it needed to do. I'm gonna just put it like that. It did what it needed to do, like it do every time. And then any excess powder is going to get swept off with this big fluffy brush. For my nose, I'm gonna go into my contour powder and kind of clean it up, and I'm gonna let it sit for just a second. And today I'm gonna be using Eye Pigment by Fenty. So both of these are bronzers. Mocha Mommy, which is what I usually use, and Thick Mint, but Thick Mint is more of a contour because it's kind of cooler and it's darker. So I'm gonna go into Thick Mint today to contour. Okay, I like it today. Thick Mint is doing the thing. Okay, so to set the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in with my Fenty setting powder and Nutmeg. I love this powder too. It's really, really matte, which I like. I'm gonna just lightly sculpt this out. Not too much really, but just lightly. And set the rest of the areas that did not, where I didn't highlight or contour, on my forehead in between those areas as well. So for blush, I'm gonna be using my E.L.F. blush in Always Rosy to bring a little to my cheeks. I'm gonna be using this. It's a fluffy brush, not that big though. You see it's a bigger brush, but I like using this one better. Don't run out, but make it cute. You see? For highlighter, I'm gonna be using my Master Chrome in the shade Molten Gold. And this is by Maybelline. This is another staple that I think a lot of people have. Really cute. I'm focusing it more higher up on my cheek, so I don't really want too much here because it just gives a different type of look that I don't really want. So I'm focusing it more here. So like I'm talking, I look to the side, oh, what's that? And you're blinded. It's just that easy, okay? But no, seriously, I just like this look better when you focus it more higher up. For setting sprays today, I'm gonna be using my E.L.F. Makeup Mist and Set. And I do like this one. I don't like MAC setting sprays, which I said in my last video, but I'm just reiterating because I feel strongly about it. I remember a couple years ago, I used a matte setting spray, and the way that it made my face look, I didn't like it one bit. For under eye, I'm just going into O, and I'm gonna put that underneath. Then I'm going in with some black eyeliner on my waterline. And yeah, we're just keeping it simple underneath the eyes today. And with this eyeliner, I'm just kind of taking it 3/4 the way, and leaving my inner eye blank because it's gonna close it up and I want it to stay open. So I'm gonna touch up my inner corner as well down here. And we're gonna move on to lips. So for lips, I'm going in with this Lux liner from Juvia's Place in the shade Scorpio. Just gonna do a nice good line of the lip. You want to blend the liner before you apply your lipstick. I want this kind of light. I'm gonna go into Cairo Soft Matte Lip Cream by NYX here and put this all over. Now we may make it glossy depending on how this looks. Let's just see. I like this, but I think it's gonna give more glossy. So I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow in the center. Yeah, and and I'm just gonna leave the outside and not really move it too much out there. I'm gonna take a little bit of this shadow, 7, and just place it on my lip. And that just makes it look more cohesive with the eyes. I'm really thinking about taking this lip off, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It may be the lip liner that I'm not liking. I'm just gonna go in with the gloss. And it's like a little bit of the lip liner left, so it's still gonna give like a look. But I wasn't feeling the other. Alright you guys, so this is the finished look. I just popped on my little baby hoops from Express and the look came out cute. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it down in the comment section. And the little pop of glitter, I like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Have fun filming it, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.